It's Week 8 of the NFL, and we'll see Fred Warner.
The onset of fall weather, certainly a welcome occurrence for folks in Silicon Valley, and we've got football on a gorgeous day here in Santa Clara as we are situated at Levi's Stadium. Today we've got a Week 8 matchup on tap here, as it'll be the Cincinnati Bengals taking on the San Francisco 49ers. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gautin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at these 49ers as they interplay here. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row. The Bengals defense rested and ready coming off the open week in their schedule. And the one we'll be watching is this man at corner.
And the reason this defense is ranked #1 against the pass is due in large part to how well he's been able to lock down receivers on his side of the field. This unit as a whole doesn't give up a lot of air yards, but they'll be put to the test here.
Here's the Pro Bowler, Christian McCaffrey. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Another run with McCaffrey on 2nd down. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. They'll get a couple yards back, but not more than that. They'll be left with 12 yards to go on 3rd down. Now, this defense for the Bengals very strong in that victory a week ago.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
The Cincy defense set to go to work here. Nothing on the scoreboard for either side here. 0-0 in the opening quarter as this next drive gets underway. They start on the ground with McCaffrey. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. You talk about this Bengals defense. It's quite a unit, #1 in the NFL against the pass.
Definitely going to need to be physical with these receivers, whether that's right at the line of scrimmage trying to jam them and bump them off their routes, or when the ball arrives and you go ahead and put your shoulder into them.
The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Trey Hendrickson able to record his 5th sack of the season. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on 3rd. Throwing here, Purdy. Got a man, that's Ayuk. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. They'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been. The Bengals ready to go on this next defensive possession. They lead 7-0, trying to put a stop together here as this drive starts with a 1st down. The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be second down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Purdy's throw complete here to Ayuk. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that's going to bring up 3rd and 2. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll try and run for it. This is Juszczyk. Yeah, this is only going to be a gain of 2. He needed 3. It's 4th and 1.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
The Cincy defense set to go to work here. And they'll begin by trying to defend a 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. On 1st down, Purdy. The tight end Kittle has it on the left side. And a penalty accepted, and they move the ball forward.
Automatic 1st down.
Reload!
Purdy looking to throw on 1st down here. That's caught by Ayuk on the slant. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Throwing on 2nd down, it's Purdy. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey, and he'll be brought down right at the 35-yard line. 1st down now, but the clock continues to move. Purdy will set up to throw it here. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Purdy on 1st and 10. Trying for Ayuk, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hilton.
Purdy's pass intercepted.
Well, CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
The Bengals ready to go on this next defensive possession. They'll start by looking at a 1st and 10 at the 25. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Logan Wilson that time there to bring him down.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 28-yard line.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Hi again, everybody. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the league here in the unofficial midway point, Week 8 of the NFL season. We'll start up in the Pacific Northwest at Lumen Field in Seattle. And it's the Seahawks who have the lead as those two teams approach halftime. Geno Smith throwing the football well. he has 3 touchdown passes. From there, we head down to the desert. Check on the Cardinals at home in Glendale. And you can see, currently they trail in that ball game. J.K. Dobbins with a touchdown run. Lastly, let's get to Pittsburgh to check on the Steelers at home in Acrisure Stadium. And it was the visiting Jacksonville Jaguars that go home with the victory. Trevor Lawrence leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. This was an extremely one-sided first half. One team showed up ready to go. The other's been in a daze thus far, but there's still plenty of time left for this one to tighten up significantly.
The Cincy defense set to go to work here. They'll play with a lead here to begin this third quarter. Looking for another solid half of football to carry them to victory. Starting the second half with a run by McCaffrey. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Another modest gain there on that one. And I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, and they've really struggled to be multi-dimensional in this one, haven't they, partner? Because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They have to do it by throwing the football and hope to have success through the air.
No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. Shotgun now with Purdy. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
The Bengals ready to go on this next defensive possession. They're going to need to limit the first downs here with this drive already starting not far from midfield at the 40-yard line. On first down, it's Purdy. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. A big loss on the play. That's the bad news. A consolation. They keep the football. Offensively, they're just not playing a very clean football game right now. This deficit, there's a fumble. Good news for them, at least. That went out of bounds.
You're exactly right. And as they breathe a sigh of relief, you know they're looking at the scoreboard, thinking to themselves, if we turn it over there, things could really get rough for us trying to make a comeback in this game.
After the sack, oh, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. Purdy off the play fake. A throw left sideline falls incomplete. But the passing windows are just not there. And that's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
Now on 3rd and forever, he'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been any. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
The Cincy defense set to go to work here. They'll try to put together a stop as this drive begins with a 1st and 10. They'll try to get the running game going with McCaffrey. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 24-yard line.
Purdy bootlegging it. Quick hitter here. It's complete. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it's 3rd and 4 now.
It's a gain of 7. Makes it 3rd and 4.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Purdy. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a 49ers first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Play action. Now Purdy. And he's going to lose yardage here, as they will switch ends as time is run out on this 3rd quarter of play. 3 quarters in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here in Santa Clara. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Now a draw play to McCaffrey. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
The offense on 3rd down, they've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This will be 3rd and a mile. Out of the gun, Purdy. And that is incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Purdy, big 4th down play. And it's going to be batted down, and will go the other way with the football. The Niners go for it, but it doesn't work out. And the Bengals are going to get it back in terrific field position. The Bengals ready to go on this next defensive possession. They've put in a very good shift so far, and this one pretty well in hand. Just looking to finish strong here in the 4th as this next drive starts 1st and 10. Purdy to throw it on 1st down. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Back to throw, Purdy. And a quick throw here, that's complete. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Purdy looking to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Niners go for it, but it doesn't work out. And that will force a turnover on downs. The Cincy defense set to go to work here. They'll see what they can do in trying to force a stop as this drive starts 1st and 10. Now Purdy. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
It's now 2nd and 10 at the 25-yard line.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Purdy. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hilton. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
The Bengals ready to go on this next defensive possession. They'll be looking to be the aggressors here as this drive begins with a 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. His throw incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. Purdy now to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Bengals grab it. And they'll have a short field to work with inside the 15 at the 13-yard line.
As they say, this game hasn't exactly been one for the books. I mean, we're into the 4th quarter here, and now this happens, another turnover. Not one that they're going to hold up and say, yeah, this has been a banner day.
Absolutely. Still sitting on 0. The Cincy defense set to go to work here. They'll be summoned one more time here in the final minute of this football game.
Okay, ready? Let's go now.
Throwing here, Purdy. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
Back to the air on second down, Purdy. That's over the middle and caught by Ayuk. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. On first down, Purdy. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Purdy will look to throw again here. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Purdy from the gun. And that one to the right side and incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
For the winning team here, Charles, that's about as big and clean of a win as you could hope for in the National Football League. No turnovers. Meanwhile, you forced turnovers. You didn't allow any points, and you put up a bunch of points. What an effort.
And, Brandon, I just have to ask you, that's all the stuff that we saw happen today. Those are statistics, numbers, the whole deal. But my question is, how does one team come ready to play, and the other one, obviously, not ready at all?
Boy, I mean, I obviously don't have an answer to that, but that was the story from the get-go. One side was awake and ready, and the other just seemed asleep. So for the